Welcome back. This week we're going to show you how to make braised venison chanterelle mushrooms. This is a wonderful, simple dish that you can enjoy at home or at camp. And when we're done, it should look just like this. And of course, we will have a wonderful couple of wine pairings. And as you saw in the previous video, we were out with Little Dragon collecting the chanterelles, which makes the dish even more special for us. So let's go make some wonderful braised venison chanterelle mushrooms. Our food ingredients include 2 venison round steaks, or about 1.5 pounds of meat. You can use other cuts for this dish. 4 cups of fresh chanterelle mushrooms that we've trimmed and cleaned up. I do not chop them into smaller pieces for the simple reason that the chanterelles will shrink quite a bit as you cook them. 5 green onions and soy sauce that we will be adding a couple different times. And then for the prep section, the soy sauce with 2 teaspoons of cornstarch and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. The other ingredients, once we start cooking, is a 1/2 teaspoon of Sichuan peppers, 4 sugar cubes, 3 anise, 3 tablespoons of fresh minced garlic, and at 2 different times we will be adding some additional cooking soy sauce. And then of course your dry white wine for the prep work, and whatever you don't use you can enjoy. Now we put about a cup of water to cover the venison. We do not marinate it in the wine very long. It's just for about a few minutes. And we're going to go ahead and chop up after we've trimmed our onions, and we're just going to chop them like so. Now we're going to drain the wine off of the venison and put on the cornstarch and the salt. But one thing I was going to mention is if you do this at camp and you don't want to take glass with you, there's a lot of nice wines out there that you can use for this that come in a can. So that's just one option, and there are better and better wines out there, like a nice Kim Crawford that you can find in a can. So what we are doing now is we're just going to cut this into nice, thin, bite-sized pieces like this. And as I said, you can use just about any cut of meat that you want. Now we put the cornstarch and the salt in, and we give this a nice little mix up right here. And we're only going to let this sit for about 15-20 minutes before we cook. So as you can see, this goes really fast. We are heating up a little bit of olive oil, and then we are going to put in our chopped ginger that I forgot to mention, along with the garlic, the Sichuan peppers, and the anise, along with the sugar cubes. Once the sugar has melted, then we will go ahead and add our venison, and by then everything else should be nice brown and caramelized. So now we're adding our venison, and we're going to just go ahead and stir this up a little bit and get it nice and browned. So it's going to look really good before we go to the next step. Here you go. Now it's nice and browned, and we are ready for the next step. And we also want to be careful not to overcook our venison. Now that we have everything nice and browned, we are going to go ahead and add our chanterelle mushrooms to the dish. Doesn't that look absolutely wonderful? And over the next 7 minutes, we are just basically going to kind of keep this covered to trap all those wonderful juices and spices and flavors in this while we periodically stir this up. So let's go ahead and put a cap on this and go to the next step in a few minutes. Now we'll add our onions, stir those in, cook them up a little bit until they're nice and soft, and maybe even add another tablespoon of soy sauce if we wish. And because we're adding soy sauce, that is why I do not add salt to the dish. We've gotten everything nice. The onions, everything is cooked. The onions are soft but still firm. So now my favorite part, and that is the food and wine portion. Let's dig in. Now, for a wine pairing, I really like the Norton in the Adam Pukta Totality Event wine. It's a wonderful wine sourced from grapes that were in the path of the 2017 total eclipse. Taste the magic in this wine. You'll love the fact that it has some structure, a crisp acidity, and there's a gamey aspect that just pairs wonderful with foraged mushrooms and venison. You can find it for around $25 a bottle at the winery only. Give the 2019 Robert Mondavi Napa Red Blend a try. You've heard me talk about how much I enjoyed this wine before. With the fact that it's 13% Cabernet Franc makes this a wonderful wine to go with the mushrooms and wild game. Something that has a good amount of Cab Franc in the wine is a great pairing with this dish. That gamey aspect is a very complimentary thing. Both of these wines have those well-rounded tannins, a crisp acidity, and neither the dish nor the wine will overpower one another, but they will both complement one another. Please visit our friends at Hunting for Connections on Facebook. You can network for people to hunt with in other states, or if you're single and you're looking to meet someone based on commonality, check out huntingforconnections.com. Wine and food is best enjoyed when shared with friends and people you care about. And then for a great political analysis, visit our friend Chris Arps at Water Cooler Politics. Please share Wild Wine Life with your friends. Invite them to like or follow Wild Wine Life on Facebook or YouTube. I'm Ray. Don't forget to live the dream, and here's living the Wild Wine Life.